Okay, I'm about to show you foul play by New Zealand 7.
Disaster for New Zealand.
Feels like it's not real, to be honest.
It's a red card for the captain, Sam Cane. Heaven knows what he's thinking at the moment.
Yeah, you really just can't grasp the shock that you're under sitting in that chair. Just the overwhelming feeling that I've let my teammates down when they needed me the most.
There's a whole bunch of memories, both positive and negative.
People were writing us off.
We're flying under the radar.
I just feel proud and honoured to be an All Black.
The love was truly amazing. I think, you know, you look at the power of footy.
I was in good spirits.
Just ready to take on everyone.
When the going gets tough, we stick together.
Cream rises to the top.
Let's say there's a storm coming.
Oh, Max, here we go. We're all ready to go to war.
Well, let me tell you, we are the storm!
It's unbelievable.
It's time.
And everyone rolling?
Be rolling?
Okay.
Everybody switch off the mobile?
Yep. How does that feel? In the hot seat.
Spinning.
Be roll.
This group knew that what would define them was what happened at the 2023 Rugby World Cup. World Cups are all unique. Prior form means nothing. It's do or die, a pinnacle event for most athletes. You know you're entering an arena that is special. You're entering an arena that is unique. And you're entering an arena that provides opportunity for greatness echoed through the eons of time. It's an age-old rivalry for rugby supremacy. The two biggest superpowers in the sport, New Zealand against South Africa in the 2023 Rugby World Cup final.
This is it. It's just a feeling like no other.
This is the biggest rugby union match of all time.
There were so many factors
The two titans of world rugby, isn't it? Going head to head.
where we had some of the greats of our game leaving. Young boys wanting to make a statement.
It's going to be mega. It is the two most successful sides in Rugby World Cup history.
Boys like me who just wanted to win a World Cup.
From a world rugby perspective, you got two teams that have won it 3 times. You had this clash of styles. There's going to be no excuses. The dream final.
When we're done tonight, one nation will stand alone as the winner of 4 Webb Ellis Cups.
In those moments, I'll try and remind myself to enjoy this special feeling of leading the team out, running out onto the field. Line up for the anthem. Look across and your family's there in the crowd. Like those are special moments. Just take a second to appreciate that before switching back your focus to what's ahead in the game.
Aaron Smith, ahead of his final and 125th Test match, will lead the All Blacks haka for the last time.
It's always an honour to do the haka, but it just hit a little bit different doing that last one with him, because that's the last time that team is ever going to be assembled.
The week before, 3 of us leaders spoke about, playing in a final, and we talked about our whys during the World Cup. Yeah, I spoke about, me and my father, who I lost in April in 2023. I told the boys that before he got really, really ill, that he said, go to France and make me proud. And yeah. He told me it because it was like he knew he wasn't going to be there. Going to France for me was the goal, to try and make him proud, just to do the best I could, and I think I was able to do that. And I wanted to remember this moment. This is the last time I'm in the All Black jersey.
It's a last tango in Paris.
Playing on the world stage, it's a physicality like no other.
There's a couple of things that haven't gone our way early.
He's dropped his weight onto an exposed leg, so minimum yellow.
Well, that is just the start that the All Blacks didn't want. Inside 2.5 minutes, Shannon Frizzell is sent to the sin bin. Andre Pollard has the first points. Piling on the pressure now, South Africa. Penalty Springboks. Serious problems now for the All Blacks as Andre Pollard aims at post once again, and it's the same old story.
I know in test matches, it's about regaining momentum and nailing our next moment.
They go long. They go too long.
Jesse's done a full U-turn and ended up running back towards me. I was caught off guard a bit, so it was quite an upright tackle. And then, yeah, sure enough, they stopped play, and then yellow card.
This time it's the captain, and it's on review.
We'll just wait for it.
Yeah, and then the sideline referee came over and just said it's going to be upgraded to a red.
I think you're the captain now, aren't you? Yeah. OK, the yellow card has been reviewed, it's been upgraded.
To red?
It's upgraded to red. It's a high degree of danger, and there's no mitigation.
Disaster for New Zealand. It's a red card for the captain, Sam Cane.
Even now, just saying those words, I don't know, I just feel the tension and I suppose that sense of shock that I encountered in that moment hits me again now. And all of a sudden, I'm in this sin bin chair, turn over my shoulder, and all of our families are sitting right there. I can look my parents in the eye who've supported me for so long and come over here to support me, my wife, my sisters, the other boys' families who you've got to know closely over a long period of time. And just I don't know, an overwhelming feeling of that I've let my teammates down when they needed me the most.
Six points, the difference. A first half full of drama here, but no team has ever come from behind at the halfway mark to win a World Cup final.
Geez, we're down to 14 men, we're up against it.
So we just had to get on with it and not get too emotional or blurred or angry. We know what it means to drop a forward and go down. But it's the mental stuff that's the challenge.
My role normally at halftime is more observational. What pricks my senses is when I hear silence and I feel what's existing in the spaces. I quite often have thoughts which I don't say, but in that moment I wanted to make sure that I didn't look back in time and say I thought it and wish I'd said it. At times all you need is one person to say one thing that all of a sudden gives you the power to believe it. And in that moment I remember saying, boys, no one expects us to get the job done here, but wow, it would be a hell of a story if we won.
When Gilbert said,
Like, what a story this would be. You almost wanted to stand up and just run out that tunnel.
We've been through it all. We've been through thick and thin. Why can't we be that team that can do it under these circumstances?
Taylor goes long to Sevilla.
Wadi Savia is getting fixed up here. Took a shot from Sia Kolesi.
The Springbok captain has been yellow carded.
We're the All Blacks. We're not going away. We're going to go till the end.
And all of a sudden, we were in this position where we were standing on a precipice where we could achieve the greatest chapter in the history of the All Blacks.
Gets the ball away to Richie Mo'unga, skips clear of Taya Lindy. Richie Mo'unga inside, Aaron Smith! Aaron Smith! In his final test match for the All Blacks has put them within a point.
We knew we were right in it.
You sort of fizzed up, you're like, right, we're back in the game. It's all on here.
So no try, but he's played them.
I thought I had my glory moment scoring a try in a World Cup final, got yanked.
Yeah, it was back to a phase of where can we just scrap for one here.
So the All Blacks will need to weather the storm here, playing with 14 in a wrestling match here, but Talia has robbed them of the ball. Geordie Barrett. Mark Talia, who gets away from one and another. Beauden Barrett dives in for the All Blacks. They're within a point of South Africa. The conversion will put the All Blacks in front.
As a kicker, you always dream of those situations, and although some may see it as a high-pressured moment, which it is, it's just an awesome privilege to be in that position.
This to put New Zealand in the lead in the World Cup final. And he's just missed it.
That still haunts me as a kicker, you know? Kicks like that could have changed the whole game.
Well, we got a game on now. Still a 1-point lead for the Springboks.
We're genuinely just hanging on. But 10 minutes left, down one man against the Springboks in a World Cup final. Like, that's where you want to be as an athlete.
I remember being reminded by the boys, next task, next task.
Whitelock offloads to Mark Talia. So dangerous, Mark Talia.
It's hard to do in those situations, but that's all you could control, really, you know, as a player, was the next moment.
We're just going to do everything in our power to just get an opportunity and seize it.
Yes, you're fine. Back you come.
Geordie Barrett will have a chance to put New Zealand in front in this World Cup final with 7 minutes to go.
I knew in that moment that was my time to go up, point to the sticks and have a shot at goal, and it's just one of those moments where you just hope that you just luck out, really, and you have a pure strike.
Geordie Barrett to put the All Blacks in front.
We had a turbulent lead-up to the Rugby World Cup.
And Ireland are putting their foot on the throat of the All Blacks here.
There are still some scars from that series defeat.
We'd won some games, lost some games. At times we played really good rugby. But at other times we played some of the worst rugby that I can remember being part of.
Argentina win for the first time.
That was something that was kind of hanging over our head.
Brothers on three, hey? 1, 2, 3! Brothers.
You get three choices in life. Either give in, you give up, or you give it everything you got.
World Cup year is different to any other year. World Cups are a different beast. The pressure is different. The expectation is there.
Coming into 2023 was certainly a unique year for the All Blacks, and I'd had 23 years and I'd never had a year like it.
There was a backdrop of New Zealand rugby making some decisions that were impacting on the team. I have to say it was a pretty unpleasant surprise. My response to that's been pretty well publicised.
I think that's a distraction. I don't see any reason why that can't happen post-World Cup.
For me, I needed to make sure that I put the team first.
I'm the coach of the All Blacks. My job is to prepare this team for this World Cup, and that's my sole focus. And one of the All Black values is that the team comes first, and the decisions we make are about the team.
You know, it's one of the key drivers of the All Blacks. It always has been and hopefully always will be. We just had to get our eye on the target, and that was to go and win a World Cup.
We knew what we needed to do and wanted to achieve, and that was the main thing.
You know, it's a fresh year, exciting year with the World Cup coming.
Bit of a challenge, but really proud of the way we got the group to the starting line. This is my third World Cup I'd gone to, and we'd made a number of changes, you know, in terms of combinations on the park, introduced a few younger guys.
You on? Are you on? Oh, the powder looks good.
That's natural.
Natural glow.
No makeup. To be able to wear the black jersey with a fern on it is something not a lot of people can do. For me to make it for my family is it's pretty surreal, yeah. Come from a little place in the far, far north called Kyo. It'll probably take you 30 seconds to drive through it. I've had to learn a lot of lessons the hard way growing up. I didn't live with mum and dad, I lived with my sister in Western Australia for 16 years of my life, and she had kids quite young, so I was this little Māori boy in the big city, so now I'm grateful that I learnt those lessons quite young, because I like to think I'm quite wise. I always wanted to be an All Black growing up. It's pretty much every Māori kid's dream, just to do the haka. For me, I had a pretty big year. The call came from Foz and said, you know, if you fix this and this, you could have a chance of making the team. So that was just for the championship, and I was buzzing. To be honest, that was my first ever All Blacks game. Of course, I watched the All Blacks on TV, but that was actually my first All Blacks game I've been to in person. So I was kind of buzzing out, and then the manager came over and said, mate, you're not here to be a spectator, you're here to learn.
We needed to hit the Rugby Championship running, and we were dominant.
This is a great start from New Zealand. Rico Ioane.
Big night for Tamati Williams, joining the haka for the first time. Bowden Barrett goes wide. Lovely pass to Jordan. Almost broke the tackle. Then he went again. Well, Jordan. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. Pops it out to Taylor. Here is Frizzell. Oh, my goodness. Away it goes for Mo'unga. Richie Mo'unga.
I'm pretty sure that everyone knew that I was nervous, and I'm just real grateful to be able to put this jersey on.
Yes, the start of a long All Black career, for sure.
Between the players and the coaches, we had a really clear identity around how we wanted to play, and I think with that came a lot of confidence.
Just over 40 days out from the Rugby World Cup. Oh, absolutely nailed. And the All Blacks are in. Quick hands. Oh, beautiful. Mark Talia scores. What a try that is. And it's a big win for the All Blacks. And it also means the retention of the Bledisloe Cup.
Yeah, the gummies.
It was Fozzie's decision. Every year that he's been in charge of the team, we've gone to an area of New Zealand that may be going through a bit of a hard time. So Napier had obviously been hit with the floods.
New Zealand has declared a national emergency after Cyclone Gabrielle flooded the country's North Island.
As All Blacks, we're in a very privileged position. And when we went to Napier, we saw pretty clearly how bad it was.
It was a pretty humbling experience.
As you can see, getting our shovels, clear out the silt.
My auntie lives in Napier, so they were there in the floods, and a lot of their mates and family, friends, businesses have had to shut down.
What we've learnt in the All Blacks, if you want to achieve real high performances, you've got to go deep in terms of understanding who you are and who you're representing.
It's fair to say it's been a bit of an eye-opener for a lot of us, seeing the devastation firsthand, and we're going to take a lot from this. The fact that we get to get our hands a bit dirty, mix and mingle, and see the attitude you're taking.
Sometimes we get so entrenched in the challenges that we have, but when we see someone else's challenge, sometimes ours dwarfed in comparison, and we got that experience in Napier.
Seeing how tough the community was, seeing how positive they still were.
The pride that we get in representing those people.
You know, we'll get patted on the back for spending half a day cleaning up, but we want to thank them because they had a massive impact on them, and it just strengthened our connections with our country, which I think it helped fuel us right through to the end. When you go into battle and you got to really dig deep, you know, like winning that one in Dunedin the week before was pretty special for us, and that's the sort of character that you need.
Oh man, Dunna's Test week, it's special. A place where all my dreams came true, really. Amazing stadium, and the fans love it, eh? It was extra special for me to lead the haka there for the last time on New Zealand soil.
We'd already won the Bledisloe and the Rugby Championship. We made a lot of changes, and we knew that was going to be challenging.
Right under the shadows of the goalpost. Now Bell hands it wide. Pataya, and here's a chance. Colin Betty.
Australia turned up. We've got to give them credit.
Swings it wide this time for Hooper.
The Aussies do what they do. They fought back from adversity.
So 2 converted tries in the first 8 minutes. And boy, what a half it has been from the Wallabies.
So we were faced with, quite a deficit, and we managed to claw it back.
And wide it goes. Stevenson in the corner. Try on debut for Sean Stevenson.
People might say we got out of jail, but the key is to just stay in it, and we stayed in it.
For Aaron Smith.
I think that gives the team real good confidence, you know, to be able to have that belief late in the game. We knew how important it would be for us in the World Cup where, you know, we could say to each other, boys, we've done this before, we've been here.
2.5 minutes left in the test. And then going back for the scrum penalty. Can Richie Wonga kick a penalty to put them in front?
As a kid, you always dream of those moments, and you really feel the pressure.
Please, Lord. Richie Mo'unga. Up it goes.
That was an awesome chance to do what I've dreamed as a kid for the All Blacks.
All Blacks win.
It was kind of like the great escape.
Amazing comeback from the All Blacks.
The thing I remember most about that game was having players in the All Blacks play their last game for the All Blacks on New Zealand soil. You know, to see Nuggie and to see Colsey and to see, you know, Whitelock, you know, just filled with joy and for those boys who have given so much to this team.
Before the World Cup, we played in South Africa. The team that they picked, it was pretty obvious that they wanted to beat us up physically.
It wasn't a dead rubber. It was a game that we wanted to win and build towards the World Cup.
Managing to break up, and Lawrence with the interception. No one will catch it.
We were showed up.
We got outplayed that night. Physically.
Powering their way forward.
Got in a little card trouble.
The result speaks for itself. We were pretty disappointed.
Gave us a hiding right before the World Cup.
It is a record victory, and by some distance.
That was frighteningly one-sided, wasn't it?
We got annihilated. They just weren't up for it. They just mentally weren't there, and I can't understand why.
Anyone who wanted to have a dig at us was having a dig.
The more pressure that came externally from different people, the tighter we got.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Ça va? Comme ci, comme ça.
When we got to France, there was an instant feeling of, okay, it is here now. We're actually playing in a World Cup.
The capping ceremony is always exciting. You're welcomed into your designated city or town and the fans turn out. It's pretty cool.
I really felt the love from the French community, so buzzing, boys got the new caps. Looking forward to the tournament ahead.
All Blacks against France. What an opening match to play at a World Cup.
We're on now. All the waiting, the build-up has been and gone. We're here to do a job.
Hey, I didn't even know what Stade de France was. And then I remember we're on the bus. You just seeing the lights. I was like, oh my God.
Round one, opening game of the World Cup, it was rocking.
What an opening match. All Blacks against France. That was something special.
And the weather just played into that whole kind of hectic environment like it'd be one of the hottest games I've ever played.
Crowd was so loud.
Holy heck, we've walked into one here.
Been to Paris a number of times, played against France a number of times, but playing them at home in their home World Cup, first game was always going to be massive.
I heard the hoi concept of like a waka, everyone paddling together. And we got the hoi made and it looked pretty cool. And it was cool to add a little bit of history to the black jersey. I felt an out-of-body experience holding it. Something I'll never forget.
We started really well. Like, we had the set play off the line out.
There's a short ball to Rico Ioane, bursting through the middle into the French 22.
You couldn't really ask for a better start.
Moanga, Barrett, works the cross kick to Mark Talia.
Anything going through your mind at that point? Just don't stuff it up, to be honest.
for New Zealand.
We made a great start to the second half with Mark scoring again.
We have an exit line out in our half. Ball goes to Artie Severe. Everyone's anticipating a hit up. So what does Artie do? He does a little chip kick.
Chip over the top for Will Jordan.
No one expected it. You know, that was a set play we had with a number of options. It was actually Artie during that French week said to me, "Oh, Foz, I reckon I can do that." He went and worked on it and had the courage to do it, and it paid off.
Brilliant skill.
I just put my hand up, saw so much space, and he just threw the bridge of doom.
Over the top to Talia. New Zealand looking for another try. Talia has a double.
And then from there, we fell away at the last 30.
The wave starts building and they get more confident.
We gave them too many opportunities.
France take the lead in Paris.
Our discipline was an issue.
I got carded, which certainly didn't help.
It's a yellow card for Will Jordan.
Reflecting back on it, one of those ones where maybe I was a bit too hyped for the game.
And we found ourselves on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Melvin Chamonix chasing. Chamonix! That should do it. And for the first time in history, New Zealand lose a pool game at a Rugby World Cup.
You walk off that field, like, dented our confidence in a way. It puts questions in your head.
Definitely still hurts now, but you can't change it. It's in the history books.
It's not like New Zealand teams of old that have been to World Cups where there's a fear factor.
They are a team that is beatable, and they're ranked 4th in the world for a reason.
It's hard to see how they could be the eventual winners.
We don't live under rocks. We feel it, we hear it. You asked about it on the street. So you understand the general feel of what the public think.
You know, they think we're just rugby players, but even though if we don't want to look at all that social media stuff, it still surrounds us. And that's pretty tough.
We'd been given an uppercut for not finishing a game properly. And so, you know, we had to take those lessons.
Before we got to Lyon, which was our host city for our first game, we went to Arras, which is where a lot of the World War I battles took place. There's a number of Kiwis buried there.
I can remember walking in front of the All Blacks that had been actually buried in the cemetery and being overawed by something so special I can't put into words.
I'm Māori and quite spiritual, and it hit me pretty hard.
Dane Coles, Tamari Williams had family members that were actually there. There were people discovering their family history, great uncles, grandfathers.
That was special. I always knew I had a great grandfather in the Māori pioneers. And then when we were there, my phone started going crazy. My mum, my aunties, they're like, that's where your grandfather was.
It was actually really bone-chilling, very moving for us, and it really brought us together.
It was a very emotional time. I wouldn't say I'm a very emotional person, but it was a very, very humbling experience.
Going to Arras, even going to Napier, the All Blacks are so much more than a rugby team. You know, they're a team that represents a nation that is very, very small at the bottom of the earth. But boy, do we have a rich connection to our past and to those that have built this great nation.
We put a jersey down and we did a couple of pango. It was tough.
You're kind of showing your respects to the people who fought in the wars and who had been there before us. So. go harder because you're trying to respect the people that you're doing it for.
I can still remember Derek Lardelli, our Kalmata, was saying, they know you are here. They know you are here. When we all went back and hopped on that bus, we were all different. That experience had created something inside us that made us a different team.
New Zealand giving it some air early, and again it's the power play. Ball back in field for Ken Roygaard. So Roygaard in for a second. 2 tries in 10 minutes. He's hacked it ahead from Anton Lienert-Brown with a brilliant bit of individual skill.
The big thing for us in the pool was you had to beat Italy.
We knew this was a game that we'd potentially struggle with.
For the first time ever, we were faced with realistically a chance of not making a playoff.
It was massive for us. It was do or die.
Italy, a team on the rise against a New Zealand side ready to make a statement.
On the day, we'll back ourselves to beat anyone.
Jordy Barrett into the arms of Will Jordan. Jordan for the corner. Jordan with the flying finish.
We scored again. We scored again, we scored again.
Artie Savia, you're never stopping him from there.
We were ruthless for the full 80 minutes.
He's got Aaron Smith up the middle, and Aaron Smith's going to get a hat-trick.
96 points against the Tier 1 nation is pretty good.
If they secure a bonus point victory in Lyon tonight, New Zealand can confirm their quarter-final spot.
Every time I've been named in an All Black side is very, very special.
Sam Whitelock will be on it tonight in grand style as he earns his 150th All Black cap.
I've been playing rugby since I was 3. I'm now 35. As a kid, you always dream about that first time you were presented with an All Black jersey.
So a great moment for Sam Whitelock on debut.
Even though it's never yours, that individual one is yours. That's the one that you're going to play your first one in.
Fires it back, and look at that! Can you believe that? Sam Whitelock been on the park for a minute, and he's got himself a try. In Whitelock, oh boy, there's a big future for this lad. 2 tries on debut.
And for myself, every All Black jersey I've played in is special, whether that's 80 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever is asked of you. You're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for your country, your teammates, your family.
A moment in history as Samuel Whitelock charges onto Stade Lyon Stadium all alone. The 2-time World Cup winner, the second most capped Test player in history.
One thing I'm proud of with my own career, I've never really counted Test matches or time that I've played. I've committed and given it everything I've got.
I've got so much respect for Sammy, for what he's done, for who he is and the leader he is.
He's a bit of an unsung hero, and people talk about greatest of all times, and he's up there for me.
Like the All Blacks is everything to all of us, but to him, the legacy he's made in that jersey is, it's unmatched. He's the most capped ever.
He's an example of what an All Black should be.
Now McKenzie stabs a kick ahead for himself. McKenzie with the chase. 50-22's on here. McKenzie's kept it in field. Quite superbly for Will Jordan.
Unbelievable skills.
Too skilled, too classy, too fast.
It's going in close here for Tamaiti Williams bearing himself in.
Tamaiti Williams just got his first Test try.
Job done for New Zealand. A place in the quarterfinals secure.
Sam, it's been quite a special week for you.
I must admit, today I was pretty nervous, so just tried to keep my emotions in check. And yeah, I've got my oldest boy here, my wife and my parents, so really nice to share this moment with them.
It was so cool to see those couple seconds of him celebrating. because he never does that.
He's a proud guy, doesn't give too much away, but he's got every reason to celebrate that one.
I wanted to play Ireland. You know, I was always asked who I wanted to play, and I said I don't care. But deep down, I wanted to play Ireland.
We were all like, you know, bottle rockets ready to go. Then, like, the video.
A great All Black coach once said, "You're only the caretaker of the jersey. You never actually own it." I want to say this. We know you're going to get the job done. But if you need to borrow something, you borrow the history of that jersey.
We were all sitting in our rooms watching it like, man, are we supposed to be doing this?
You borrow the money! You borrow the way to win! You borrow 5 million Kiwi standing strong!
Everyone thought we were walking out of there after hiding, except us.
I've heard them say they've written us off! They say there's a storm coming. Well, let me tell you, we are the storm! We are the black cloud! We let go!
I was so locked in.
We're going to throw the kitchen sink at this game.
Although we don't talk about these things as a team, we don't talk about Ireland, at the back of your mind, you remember it.
Ireland have beaten the All Blacks in New Zealand for the very first time.
In the leaders' meeting pre the quarter-final against Ireland, Nuggy's sitting in there and we gave him the last word and in his own way saying, I've been waiting for 18 months to play this team on a big stage, in a big moment, pay them back for the hurt that they've given us 18 months ago.
It was definitely a get them back kind of mindset.
We remember the feeling of losing in Dunedin and then in Wellington. You remember those feelings and how we feel like we've let New Zealand, we've let the jersey down.
We'd planned all year around how to try and stop Ireland as best we could. Irish were very confident, you could tell, but they had every right to be.
They've beaten everybody, Brad. They've beaten everybody recently.
Should the All Blacks be worried?
Is the Pope a Catholic?
Every test they've come up against, they deliver.
I love today, just the feeling of being the underdog.
Ringrose tries to cut through and does. What a start! Exceptional rugby, it really is.
They had 60,000 fans coming over. Zombie was playing after games.
They're the team to beat.
We are so ready. I don't think we could be more ready.
A shocker out of the All Blacks camp this evening. Mark Talia dropped.
It's weakening the side, but the team protocols are there for a reason.
Me, Bodie, and Sam Wallach, we make the curfews, and Mark broke that.
You know, you made a mistake. And so logistically, this part of me was quite a simple decision. That part of me hurt like anything.
I was super gutted. Like, I love Mumba and we needed him.
The minute you show people that you're willing to compromise on your values, it may not affect you in the short term, but it sure as anything will affect you long term. It was all about the legacy of the team going forward.
I'm sidelined, so I can't do anything now. But I still had that belief, you know, come game time, the boys are gonna go do the mahi, you know?
Number one side in the world, Ireland, up against the three-time world champions, New Zealand.
Being in the stadium now, when you look around, all you can see is green.
It felt like a home game for them. It was so loud.
I remember walking out onto the ground and it's full of green,
They just sing all game, just make the atmosphere that much better to be a part of. I was up all the way up in the stands and all these Irish supporters around us are just giving it to us here, and I was just like, holy.
It is a quarter-final worthy of a final.
I think the public were nervous. The public was smart enough to know what the quarter-final was going to be about.
If we didn't get the job done, we're on the plane home.
Looking across at the opponent during the haka, you get memories, flashbacks.
And Ireland are putting their foot on the throat of the All Blacks.
We had a point to prove.
Who are you looking at?
Johnny, Peter, Marnie, typically guys who had targets on their heads.
There are the games you want to play as a rugby player. Knockout rugby, win or go home.
We're underway in the quarter-final.
Bodie did one of his chip and chases, got the bounce.
The chip and chase might be, but Bowden Barrett's there, and he regathers, hit hard by James Lowe. Still on for the All Blacks.
Had a couple of quick boys outside, man. I knew it was a 3-on-2.
Pumps, squares up, bang.
Leicester Fainganuku. And New Zealand are in. Fainganuku.
Simple skills done well.
Leicester Fainganuku brought in with Mark Talia, and he has a try.
The fact that we started so well almost shut out their crowd a little bit. But we were under no illusion that they weren't going to come back.
Long ball to Bundy Aki. Dummy steps. Bundy Aki. Aki's in.
They got momentum, crowd got back into it, then the test was really on.
And New Zealand go to work with the attacking game. Will Jordan, Rieko Ioane, Ardie Savea, the birthday boy. The sea of green coming to life, trying to will on their side. Gibson Park arrives and he plays. Gibson Park dummies and goes. And he scores! What a half it has been. It has swung this way and that.
They charged into the tunnel, I remember it. Their supporters are up. The challenge for us was just to regather.
They were dominant for 15 to 20 minutes, and you would feel like, here they come.
Here come Ireland, Aki. Flicked on by Ringrose brilliantly. Ireland spring into life.
Yeah, Will Jordan's try happens, bang.
It just happened so fast that when I got the ball, I kind of showed to give it back to Jill. But as I showed the hooker off the back of the line, he kind of just stopped for a split second.
And Richie Mo'unga for New Zealand. He's got Will Jordan with him.
Just kind of screaming at him for him to give it, to be fair.
Will Jordan! Try New Zealand!
The thing I love about it is then when the team kind of comes in and gets around you.
Mr. Prolific does it again.
Felt like there was a bit of a momentum shift.
Well, the execution was pretty special. Very simple rugby, but designed for a reason.
The defence from the All Blacks. The hits that they're putting in.
Ireland go to the corner, and Johnny asks for support from the crowd.
A massive, massive moment.
They throw to the middle, Whitelock contests. But Tyburn brings it down, and here comes the green machine. It's a penalty try. And it's a yellow card as well for Cody Taylor.
Yeah, we were facing a serious uphill battle in that final 15 minutes. It was just a matter of which side could hang on.
Taylor still 6 minutes and a bit of change in the sin bin. Hugo Keenan climbs high. It's a penalty to New Zealand because Geordie Barrett was upended. Geordie Barrett. Brilliant kick.
They got back straight into our half. We gave away a penalty, a kick for the corner.
Well, we saw what happened previously with the line-out drive. It resulted in a penalty try. Tyburn brings it down once again. Richie McCall feeling the tension. Ireland thundering towards the New Zealand line, but New Zealand have halted it in its tracks. But the second shove for Ireland over the line, but no call.
Just a reaction, instinctive moment. I thought I should just try and get my body under it.
Geordie Barrett with the stop.
Truth is, if Geordie doesn't hold that up, we go home.
Oh, that's a grandstand play from Geordie Barrett. 2 minutes to go in the quarter-final.
Let's get the feeling there's one more chapter to ride here in this game.
The only way to fully feel what it's like is when you're on the field. The first tackle, I knew exactly what was on the line.
Jack Conan. They need to play like barbarians now, don't they, Ireland? Big tackle from Anton Lienert-Brown.
It was like there was no crowd, and it was just us against them.
18 phases now for Ireland, all about discipline. They don't want to give away a penalty here, New Zealand.
It's so easy for someone to let their emotion slip and to make an error.
We're through 80 minutes, we're on the final play.
A slight hand, half a foot offside, someone off their feet, someone too keen to try and get a jackal. They kick corner, drive them on, and we're toast.
Ireland needs something special, or they're going out of the Rugby World Cup at the quarter-final stage again.
Watching that from the sideline was the hardest game to watch. Relentless attack.
Irish fans in their numbers willing on the men in green. Gary Ringrose almost through.
It felt like a long time.
30 phases for Ireland.
Everything was on the line.
Extraordinary finish to this quarter-final. An enormous defensive effort this from New Zealand. Dave Kilcoyne. 35 phases. Sexton, Conan.
I just knew our spirit would not be broken in that moment.
Richie Mo'unga looking for the steal. Kelleher again, he's hit hard by Retallick. New Zealand want the steal. Whitelock! Sam Whitelock! The double World Cup winner comes up with the steal for New Zealand. The All Blacks are back in the World Cup picture.
Just us on the bench, jumping all over each other, the boys out there. Yeah, it was sweet.
It's the best team in the world and we beat them.
It just happened to be, whistle went and my two brothers are right there, so there's a moment that you'll cherish.
Some of the guys have always said I never really show a lot of emotion at things, but I showed a little bit there for a couple of seconds.
I remember like hugging his, putting my head on his chest like, thank you, bro, you the man. And just be like, oh, we did it.
Yeah, it was just a special win. Like, we were going through to a World Cup semi-final. We just beaten the #1 ranked team in the world. I suppose we just like proved to ourselves and everyone else like we can deliver and we can win this World Cup.
Stade de France welcomes Argentina and New Zealand to the World Cup semi-finals.
Like, we've played Argentina a lot in the last few years and they've had success against us too. That's at the back of our minds. We played a smart game. We're pretty clinical.
The forwards went to war and they just went at them.
Now they play Aaron Smith, the dummy. Aaron Smith still going. And he scores.
The plan was to keep it tight, smash away, create little seams, get our breakdown and then attack.
He's going to kick for Jordie Barrett, but it might work out for himself. Oh, look at that! The All Blacks will play in a record 5th World Cup final.
We bought ourselves another week and we bought it in style.
I made it to the final, but I know it's not enough. One more to go.
It's a red card for the captain, Sam Cane. Aaron Smith!
It's a no try.
Rhoda Barrett dives in for the All Blacks. And Jordie Barrett will have a chance to put New Zealand in front in this World Cup final with 7 minutes to go.
I knew in that moment that was my time to go up, point to the sticks and have a shot at goal, and it's just one of those moments where you just hope that you just luck out really and you have a pure strike.
Jordie Barrett to put the All Blacks in front.
That's the hardest thing to swallow on reflection, is we actually had a little opportunity there. Could have kicked that and gone on to win the game.
Heading into that final scrum, do you remember it?
Yeah, the final two.
Final two?
Loud and clear.
And Faf de Klerk will feed this scrum.
In that moment, I was so clear what I wanted. I had a few tools I needed to use, which was get out the blocks fast, catch up short, and then the aggressive second shunt.
New Zealand put the power on. We'll have a reset.
Last scrum, you're just thinking, you know, can we get one last push?
All South Africa need to do here is win possession from this scrum and get the ball off the field. Clock's in the red. De Klerk has it at the back. Power comes on from the All Blacks. Ball still on the field. New Zealand looking for the steal here, right at the end of this test match.
We danced on the precipice of greatness and just came up short.
But it's over! It's over! It's a 4th Rugby World Cup for South Africa.
To be in that moment, but to come up and know it didn't go our way was something I'll take to my grave.
Oh, I probably just wanted to get the hell out of there, to be honest. I think I wanted to, I suppose, escape to the sheds, but also wanted to get out there and give my teammates a hug who'd just given absolutely everything. Like, what a hell of a team effort.
You know, you want to be humble in victory and humble in defeat. And so you give them the credit that they deserve and earned. Congrats, you know, you're world champs. And even though it hurts to say that, but it's just respect. And that's, you got to give it.
Yeah, you fall short of something you've been dreaming of your whole life.
You're watching the other team celebrate and get what they want out of it. But I do remember seeing a lot of our heads high. And there were tears, but they were tears from upright faces.
For us to go through that whole game with being on the back foot, you know, having a man down, all those factors playing into it, I've never been prouder to be an All Black in my life. We went through hell and we almost made it.
No team, no nation has won 4 Rugby World Cups until tonight.
There's just no noise, you know? Like, you can hear everyone's thoughts.
How did that happen? How did you get so close but not get there?
What could I have done better?
We were, you know, one kick away from winning.
It's just a real true heartbreak, and it was a real physical hurt.
Everyone was proud of the effort and, like, really proud of what we'd done, but it doesn't take away the feeling of, you know, we lost.
Couldn't believe it. After, like, trying so hard. Broke me.
I debuted with Sam Cane, and he's a brother of mine, and I just felt for him. Probably one of the toughest moments, was hugging him in the shed after, and he was pretty upset. He was saying sorry, and I said, you don't have to say sorry about anything, mate. And I was just gutted for him, because how much I know he puts into the jersey and how well he represented us as a captain.
Sitting there with my jersey on, my shorts on, I kind of got to that stage where it just hit home. I found it extremely hard to take off my jersey, because I knew once I took it off it would be the full stop on my New Zealand rugby career. This was the end of playing for a team that I'd always dreamed about playing, and for me that was that moment it all kicked in. It was very, very hard to do.
I'm very proud of this team, how we've come through the last 4 years. I think it's been a unique period in our history with some of the challenges, and I'm extremely satisfied that we've left this black jersey in a good space.